Hello, I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours, and I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour because you got to pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you.
There's a certain kind of guest that comes on tours that honestly grates on me more than they should, and I acknowledge that, but I cannot help but be annoyed by them. And I had one recently. So first of all, the lady shows up drunk. Like, honestly, she was drunk. But she was what I think of as functioning drunk, as in, like, she was capable of following rules, she was not interrupting me, she could keep her volume at a relatively moderate level. It's just when you were talking directly to her, you were like, oh, those are not the words sober people say. But okay. And so I was already a little bit just nervous with her. And then we get to the Marie Laveau stop, which my Marie Laveau stop is 99.9% just, oh my God, she was such a good human being. And the remaining 1% is about how voodoo is just a religion and you should treat it like you would any other religion. Show it respect, because that's the polite thing to do, and that it's not somehow intrinsically evil just because it's different. And at the end of that stop, one of the other guests had a good question asking about Marie Laveau's daughters, and specifically how and when they died. And when I was explaining what we knew, this other lady sort of interrupts to be like, well, why didn't she know? And I was like, why didn't who know what? And she's like, well, why didn't Marie Laveau know she was going to die? And I was like, why would she know she was going to die? And she was like, the voodoo. And I'm like, did you not listen to any of what I just said when I talked about how voodoo is just a religion? And like, yeah, there is some divination built into voodoo, the same way there is divination built into Christianity sometimes. But no, you're not going to intrinsically know the future and specifically know when you're going to die just because you practice this alternative religion. And she looked a little bit huffy at that response, but what am I supposed to do? Lie? So after that, I'm like, okay, well, we're going across the street to the house itself, because that's what we try to do whenever it's not super crowded over there. I'll take people across directly in front of the house so y'all can see all the stuff that is left there, and we can talk about what is left there and why. And as I'm taking this lady across the street, she pushes to the front of the group to be like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm like, why are you scared? And she's like, because we're going right to the house. I don't want to be cursed. And I was like, why do you think you would be cursed by this house? And she's like, because of the voodoo. And I'm like, once again, did you listen to a single word of what I just said? And the thing is, I do actually tell a story in my long story about someone who seemed to have a string of bad luck after being racist as hell in front of the house. And that meant I was so tempted to look at this woman and say, were you planning on being racist in front of the house? Because otherwise, you gonna be okay. But then we get there, and after I do my spiel directly in front of the house, which is very short and talks mostly about what people leave and what are appropriate offerings, this woman comes up to me and is like, I'm going to leave something because I really don't want Marie Laveau to hate me. I don't want to be cursed. And I'm like, I cannot explain to you any further, any more clearly, that you are not going to be cursed, except for possibly by me, because at this point I am just roundly irritated. And the next couple of stops, perfectly fine. Then we get to the bar break. And the bar break, it's 10 minutes. I give people 10 minutes to go into a pretty crowded bar, get drinks, and come back out. Now, the secret is you actually have 15 minutes, but I tell people 10 minutes in the hopes that they will actually be back on time. And this woman just doesn't go into the bar. And I was sort of happy about that because, like I had mentioned, she was drunk, and I didn't want her getting drunker, but she's standing there talking to me, and what she seems to want to talk to me about is how she's really scared being on this tour because she's afraid that she's going to go to hell because she came on a ghost tour. And I was like, why would you think that? And she's like, well, my pastor says that learning about ghosts and stuff is inviting the devil into your life. And I'm like, then why would you come on this tour? Like, and she's like, do you believe that? I'm like, no, of course I don't. Do you think I would do tours as a job if I thought it was condemning my soul to hell? And also, what in the Bible actually tells you that learning about ghosts is satanic? Go read the actual book, my friend. But I didn't quite go into that because that is religious, whatever. And I was just like, no, I don't believe that. And she was like, but what about tarot cards? Do you believe they'll condemn your soul to hell? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, my pastor says the Bible says that tarot cards are evil. And I will admit I snapped at this point and I was like, ma'am, tarot cards are more than 1,000 years younger than the Bible. The Bible does not have a single word to say about tarot cards. And that's when she decided to go in to get a drink, which irritated me even more because by this point, 7 minutes of the bar break had passed by. And I'm like, you have 3 minutes to go get a drink. And yes, she did come back with a drink, which her friends kept being like, that's a Coke, right? You got a cola, right? You just got a cola, right? And this woman was standing there being like, yeah, but it's weirdly flat. And her friend was like, is it flat because it's got rum in it? But the important thing is, friends, if you legitimately believe that coming on a ghost tour is going to condemn your soul to hell, just don't come.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.